Hello everyone, Mike of MMA with Friends, and guys, we are back. I heard people talking. We've been talking about it. We have not had a Trivia Tuesday in a minute, but guys, we are back. I was glad to see the excitement in the chat. It was a little bit of an impulse move. I was kind of like, man, I don't know. We're going to be having, a little bit of a dry spell, a couple bye weeks, if you will, for the UFC. Of course, this last Saturday, we had no issues with not having the UFC because Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. Deontay Wilder came in, took care of business, and as some of us suspected, and I think all of us hoped afterwards, called out Tyson Fury, setting up that rematch, that coveted Fury versus Wilder fight that I think that's what all of us in boxing want. All of us in fighting, MMA, and everywhere, right? I would hope so. I think that's got to be the best match out there right now. But man, what if you missed it? What a right hand in the 7th round from Deontay Wilder on the head of Luis Ortiz. Who Luis Ortiz, by the way, I want to congratulate Luis Ortiz for a great performance. I thought he did an incredible job. I thought he came out there and, he was counterpunching Wilder. He was landing, straight shots from that tough southpaw position. I thought his boxing and timing was great. I thought, he was controlling the pace of the fight to a point. And it's a great strategy against, 99% of fighters out there. Unfortunately for Luis Ortiz, he was fighting the hardest punching fighter of this generation and certainly one of the hardest punching boxers of all time, Deontay Wilder. And Wilder, basically just spent most of that fight, those beginning rounds, on getting the timing down and lining up one shot. And he did throw it a few times before that. Ortiz was able to duck underneath it a few times. But, man, big shot. You see the water spraying everywhere, the sweat spraying everywhere. And, it was a Hollywood moment. I mean, it was a Hollywood knockout. It was incredible. Billy Hughes in the house. Little birdie told me you got some fancy new furniture, Mike. A little birdie. Huh. Oh, you must see it on Facebook. Yeah, my wife bought some furniture, Billy. That's the only bad thing about trivia is, Billy, is I want to talk to you. I want to bring you in and chat, but then you couldn't do the trivia. So maybe you can come on and chat a little while afterwards, just for a few minutes after the trivia. Because I miss talking with you. It definitely helps having a commentator on. It doesn't feel like I'm just talking to myself here. But we got a pretty good mix of boxing, I believe boxing and MMA questions today. Hopefully we get some other people in. I announced this in stream. Seemed to be some excitement for it. So I think we'll get people in here. I just didn't want to go too early when I did it at 5. Seems like a lot of people were still working. Speaking of which, Billy, what's the new job? You're talking about a new job. What is the new profession? Get hydrated with some water before I smash myself on beer. Warehouse work. Hey, that's some tough work, man. You're sure to drop some more weight. I know you've been dropping weight, but I know when I did like warehouse work, I could not keep the weight on. And I eat like nobody's business all the time. And then when I got a job that was not quite as physical, now I've got to either get more physical or, cut back on that a little bit, or both. But man, yeah, that is like the hardest work. Some of the hardest work there is. Hardest work I've ever done. It's on that warehouse scene. Who else is in here? How many people we got in here? I think 4 people watching. We'll wait a few minutes. So December 10th. That is a thing. I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a picture of what YouTube sent me, and I still have to agree to this, which I guess I better do this. So starting December 10th, YouTube is expected to do a giant sweep of channels, and they're new terms that I have to agree to. Everybody's got to agree to. You too, I guess you have a channel on there. Everybody has to agree to that if YouTube considers you not economically viable, they will terminate your channel, and they can terminate your channel at any time based on this. Which, here's a funny thing, and I don't know if I didn't know this or I forgot it, but check this out. You cannot terminate your own channel for any reason at any time. This is what I'm hearing now, but YouTube can terminate your channel at any time. So I guess apparently this isn't my channel, it's YouTube's channel. I didn't realize that, but I guess now I do. No, I'm just thankful for the platform. I think we're going to be okay over here, Billy. I really do. I think most of the people that are already in the partner program, I don't see them canceling the partner program channels. I think some of the people that are not in the partner program channel yet, they might look at some of those. What's up, Diego Velasquez in the house? How is anyone supposed to start a channel now if you have to be moneymaker from the get-go? Yeah, that is a very good question, Billy. And YouTube has not done a good job, from everything I can find, as to answering that. I mean, obviously, they have a lot of channels now, and they have a lot of big channels. But, I mean, if they plan on doing this, for a long time, forever, until somebody shuts them down, or until a competitor knocks them out, and God knows who that would be and how many decades that would take. How do you get new creators? I don't know. I have no idea. Hopefully there'll be some verification on that. And I'll try to do some research. I really do need to do a video on that to educate not just people on here, but people on for everybody on YouTube that might be looking for those answers. Someone's going to set up a competitor to help the small creators have a platform. That's the hope. That's the hope, Billy Hughes. And here's what I really think. I really think that Mr. Joe Rogan, I have a feeling he is really working with some people on putting together a YouTube competitor. I will say I have information. He has interest in buying Vimeo. He is very interested in buying Vimeo. And if anybody can do it, I think, he's, with him and Jamie, he's got a good team over there. The guy will work a relentless amount of hours to get something done. So I could see him doing it, and I'm all for it. What's going on, Snake Pilskin? Good to see ya. Someone needs to tell the thoughts to just be porn stars. What? Someone needs to tell THOTS. What does that stand for? I'm sorry, I'm old. I'm old to Haterade 9, so I don't get whatever the acronym is there. But take care. What's going on? Take care. Hey, take care. I don't know yet. Apparently I got the date wrong, so maybe I'm not as educated as I thought. Take care. I was reading this notice. It is December 10th, not December 2nd. And I don't want to keep anybody here past 7. So as people start to come in now, once we get past 10, I'll start putting questions out there. And then afterwards, I will try to bring up that actual agreement for anybody that is interested. I know everybody might not be interested for me, but I know a lot of you guys are interested or either already have a YouTube channel or definitely have some interest in doing YouTube in the future. Or just have friends that might do YouTube that might have some questions. So maybe we can, some of us can all analyze that afterwards and, try to make some sense of it. 10 people in here watching. I think here in a few seconds we are going to start some trivia. What's everybody drinking, guys? Today I'm going to go Canadian. Is our friend Wyatt Matheson in the house? Going Canadian. Have not had one of these for a while. Imported Kokanee Glacier Fresh Beer. This was an old standby back in the day when I did not have as much cash, maybe. But Kokanee from Canada. It is kind of like an ice beer, but I like it, guys. It's not a beer you're gonna slam 3 of and be super coherent. But it's not Everclear either. I want to say it is 5.5% alcohol. Because I remember I used to drink these all the time, and I don't know if it's listed. Unless it's on the top here. Oh, well, no one probably cares that much. No trivia yet. Back to end 8 people. Well, once it hits about 15 minutes here, I think everybody's going to have enough time, and that'll just encourage them to be on time in the future. Now, man, what a boxing match we had on Saturday, though. Deontay Wilder lands that right hand, an incredible right hand, showed incredible patience. One thing he didn't show, though, was the same kind of boxing skills where he never outboxed Tyson Fury. He certainly never outboxed Tyson Fury, but I thought he really held his own in a lot of those exchanges. And Luis Ortiz is just this puzzle that he just really seemed to have a hard time solving. I thought Luis Ortiz was winning most of those rounds. And I don't know that he looks better going into a Tyson Fury fight than he did before, but maybe worse. I don't know. Yes, we did try. We had a date, take care. Dutch guy told me when he was going to be in town. I actually went out and got my license renewed. I got certified as an amateur MMA fighter. Everything was done. I kept on telling him, I dropped weight. I kept on telling him, hey, you got to get in here and get certified in time. I'm going to be there. Don't worry about me. I'm going to be there. And I do kind of wish I would have had a mediator during that time because, I'm trying to negotiate with him. And this is, the reason we are fighting, it's not good. There's bad blood. There's no love lost between, me and Dutch guy. And I hate to say that about a former partner, but you guys know just a small percentage of, what went on back behind the scenes. So even though I was trying to be the bigger guy and I was trying to communicate with him and stuff more, there's a lot of animosity, a lot of smack talking between the two of us. I'll admit, I gave as good as I took. And, I don't know if he was in the United States or the whole thing was a sham to begin with. But, I was not able to get him to show up. I had the gym space ready. I had MMA Mean in Snohomish, Washington. I'm kind of on the border between Lake Stevens and Snohomish. My kids go to Snohomish school district. But, Snohomish MMA Mean, ran by the wrestling coach for the local high school. He was all ready to let us in there and let us do our thing. And I'd apologize to him for wasting his time, because he actually cleared the night. That's something I don't think I ever told anybody since you guys brought it up and we have a little bit of extra time. He had cleared the night. We cleared the night. From classes, he moved classes around, different things. I mean, there were people ready to watch that fight. There were guys there that, I had been training with. I would have really liked, an actual training camp. But, he gave me very short notice. Dutch guy's like, yeah, I want to fight, in like 3 weeks. I mean, it was pretty ridiculous. But, yeah, that's the story. He was a no-show. So, I don't know. You don't get a victory on that. I guess it goes down on your record as a no-show. I kind of feel like I should get a victory by disqualification. I don't know, for a fighter being too scared to show up. Let's start some trivia. Enough talk about that. All right. I think I got a pretty good mix of boxing and MMA. I don't think we're too heavy on one side or the other. I think you might be right, Billy. I really expected him to come out and kind of cheap shot some of the videos. When I made a video directly aimed at him, I kind of expected him to come out and have some cheap shots and, say some things. And even if he wasn't going to fight, I thought he would, throw a couple verbal cocktails my way, but that did not happen. And we have 10 people watching. All right, everyone, refresh your browsers for the first question of MMA with Friends Tuesday Trivia Season 4. And 3, 2, 1. This heavyweight boxer goes by his given name. His given name is Eric Esch. But he goes by another name. Very popular for the Tough Man contests and different things. Eric Esch. Wow, Greg Brimstone. You guys are lighting it up right here. And it looks like Greg Brimstone got it first. Yo, Greg. Good to see you, man. Frank McKeskey is in here. 7. Wayne Dodson, great job. He had it too. I know some of you guys, Billy knows, but it's probably going to look like some of you were first on that wasn't. You have to refresh on your thing, and then it'll show it in the correct order. But Greg Brimstone was the first one on my screen to get it. Nope, this is not a spelling bee. I got you, Greg. All right, and while we are refreshed, let's jump right into the next one. I'm in a 60... What's up, MMA KO? I'm in a 60-minute compilation of reactions for the legal SBKO. Did one from Masvidal. Askren KO that blew up. Everything is time-stamped and linked. Great reaction. All the best, but... 60-minute compilation. Oh, that's pretty cool. So am I on there, MMA KO? I'm guessing you're telling me because I'm on there? That would be great. That would be awesome. I haven't been watching Moonshiners. It's funny you asked that, though, Billy. I seen it come up on my guide today. Sweet. Can you put up a link for that? Or send me something over at fightsofriends@gmail.com? Oh, I guess I just... I think I'm subscribed to your channel. Have you been on here? I'm going to go to your channel and I'll just subscribe, and that will that'll help me out there. Great job, sir. Over 2,500 subscribers. Give that man some love, guys. Just click on MMA KO. Just to the right of his comment there, they'll come up 3 dots. Click those 3 dots, and please go over there and subscribe to that channel. Make sure and ring that bell so you get his notifications. And we have to really all stick together as independent creators right now with the December 10th date looming. Well, thank you, MMA KO. I appreciate it, sir. We're doing Tuesday night trivia, by the way, for the this is 4th season, and we'll be doing this through the rest of the year. No, don't apologize. I appreciate it, MMA KO. All right, let's jump into the next question. Thank you, Diego. Appreciate it. Oh, and where are my manners? My applause sound effect was not ready. And you know, Billy's told me I need to get a soundboard. He even recommended some places I might get it, and I've just completely ignored him. No, I forget about things. I get so many things stuck in my head. But that reminded me that I do need to look to getting a soundboard. But Greg Brimstone. Great job, sir. And I think I still have the headphones hooked up from the Wilder Ortiz stream. Vicious head kick, best I've seen. Oh, it was great, man. Wednesday, 1:22 p.m. in Victoria, Australia. Nice. Oh, yeah, you guys are way ahead of us in an NFL review show, too, Mike. Yeah, I need to do something more with NFL, something more on my other channel, over on Mike's Sports Experience. As I continue to do that, I'll continue to take your guys' guidance, and if you guys just want to do it all on one channel eventually, if that's what everybody's telling me I think I should do, then I can do that. But I know some people just want to see MMA, so I don't want to push those other people away either. Next question up. Everybody should hopefully still be refreshed, so don't worry about refreshing. All right, back to boxing. What boxing weight class is heavier? Out of these 3 weight classes, what is the heaviest? Featherweight, bantamweight, or flyweight? What is the heaviest class out of those 3 classes? Featherweight, bantamweight, or flyweight? What's up, Ordinary Pete in the house? Flyweight is actually the lightest, though, and Billy gets it. The heaviest is featherweight. You are correct, sir. And so far, we have a battle between Greg Brimstone and Billy Hughes at a question apiece, and a lot of questions coming in quickly. 7 had it, Diego had it, Ted Turner had it, Scott had it. You guys were quick. 7 had it, if I didn't say that. Rob Iman, how you doing? He had it. That was not part of the question, though, Pete. His voice to text didn't work well. All right, so Billy got that one just barely. And let's jump into the next one. The heck is a bantam anyways? I go feather and fly. Bantamweight, I believe, is 118. I want to say flyweight is 115. Feather is 120. Anyways, flyweight is the lightest of those. Bantamweight is second. And then featherweight is the heaviest of the 3. Happy holidays, Ordinary Pete. And Greg, happy holidays to everybody. Hey, I got a lot to be thankful for. Thanksgiving coming up. Everybody early happy Thanksgiving. And I'm so thankful for you guys. And this is a good time to do this on these MMA trivia nights when all the regulars are in here. Go by foul sizes. When all the regulars are in here, though, I'm so thankful to everybody that's been here through over 2 years of this, or a lot of the 2 years, and especially for those of you guys that are with me for entire streams, I mean, just hours, and you guys are as big a part of this as I am, or bigger for sure. Stay out of the storms. I will, man. It is storming over here. You knew that. What's going on, Trevi McTrev in the house? Good to see you, my friend. Years went by fast. They did, man. They did. At almost 2 feet of snow between yesterday and today. Oh, Jesus. I'm not jealous of you, man. Yeah, who is Adam Timmerman, by the way? Anybody in here? Does anyone know who Adam Timmerman is? In our league, I believe he's 11-0 right now. And he's destroying everyone, including myself. Actually, did I just play you this week, Pete? I win only, says Turd Turner. Yeah, I thought you were going to beat me, Pete, and I had actually forgotten about it. I just went and looked at my fantasy football. You actually were projected to beat me going into that last night. I moved to 9-3, and the sole place of second. I'm surprised, and first in the East. But after Saquon Barkley put up a 0, Russell Wilson did not do very good. And Amari Cooper put up like less than 1 point for me, I think, in a pay league. 9-3. Nice. No more like Baby Yoda. I have not watched that yet. But here we go. Next question. Let's refresh for a second, just since we have 17 people in here. Everybody, please hit that like button if you haven't already. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, make sure and hit that subscribe button. Try and help us get over the 6,000 hump before the end of the year. And everybody refresh in 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, we're going to go a little bit to Hollywood, a mix of a Hollywood and MMA. This former Strikeforce champion and UFC veteran is now starring in the Disney Plus Star Wars show, The Mandalorian. This former Strikeforce champion and not UFC veteran, I'm sorry, former Strikeforce champion is now starring in the Disney Plus show The Mandalorian. This fighter never fought in the UFC. My apologies. There we go. Billy had it. Billy was first. Carano. Billy's got such fast internet. That's why we call him the Timebender. And he really wants that trophy back, Haterade. Haterade was in there too. But Billy a little faster. Billy with 2 questions in a row. Kind of like Royce Gracie, who won UFC 1 and 2, stepped aside after defeating Chemo in UFC 3, came back and won UFC 4. Billy's trying to do the same here in MMA Trivia. He won weeks 1 and 2, stepped aside for season 3, coming back to reclaim that title. Smith didn't know that. She is good. Oh, she's hot, man. Didn't know she was on that show. I haven't watched the show yet, but I'm going to have to check it out. I seen she's on Ariel 187. I was actually listening to that show today. And I did not get to Carano yet. Luke Rockhold was on there, Chris Weidman. But yeah, I hadn't gotten to that part yet. Oh yeah, I really need to pay attention to that fantasy basketball. I am getting destroyed, Pete. I have no idea what's going on. Or on Deadpool 2. Was Gina Carano on Deadpool? I guess she must have been. For whatever reason, I don't remember. Huh. I'm gonna check it out and try to change some guys. Pete, I seen I had that rookie out of Duke, the big dude, and he's injured for like the first 3 weeks of the season. What's up, comedic genius in the house? Have a different icon, sir. All right, doing something out. I'll keep up with the fantasy. All right, thanks for coming in, Trevi. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Theron Nelson in the house. What's up, dude? Every movie she's been in sucks. She was in some good martial arts movies, though. She was in a couple of good ones, I'm pretty sure. Theron out wearing my Bushman hat in the neighborhood with the rain. You have to put up some more Bushman videos, Theron. What's up, Alex? I'm here for the MMA Trivia, my dudes. All right. Let's jump ahead with the MMA Trivia then. Next question. Everybody hopefully should be refreshed, just given enough time. All right, guys, we're going to go to the world of fighting video games. This Japanese video game company came together with Capcom for a 3-fight series after making fighting games and classics like Samurai Showdown, Fatal Fury, World Heroes, and many others. It is not Tekken. This Japanese video game company came together with Capcom after making fighting game for a 3-part series after making fighting games Samurai Showdown, Fatal Fury, and many others. There it is. You are correct, Ordinary Pete. Neo Geo, I would have also accepted SNK, which was what their fighting series went by, but you are correct, it is Neo Geo. I remember growing up a kid in the 90s wanting one of those. Ordinary Pete first, and they were $700. $700 in the 90s is a lot of money. But they definitely had the best system out there. We just played the games in the arcades, which arcades are still pretty sweet. But as an adult, I find you got to find the arcades with alcohol. Those are the funnest. It was not Capcom versus Marvel. It was Capcom versus SNK. But there was a Capcom versus Marvel as well. Asian kid had the system near me. Oh, nice. The hell does PS5 come out? I don't want PS5 to come out yet, Billy. Well, I have not bought a PS4 yet. I've been thinking about buying PS4. But I want to make sure that PS5 is going to play their games. And that's not something they've done reversible throughout the years. So I'm still sitting on my PS3. Although I do have an Xbox One. Well, young David has an Xbox One that was given to him. Next year, this time, I have played UFC 3, Diego. I have it for Xbox One. It's pretty fun. All right, why PS5 so fast? Yeah, I think it is a bit fast, Pete. But, all right, let's jump into the next question. I know some people are here mainly for trivia. So, question number 5. This UFC fighter motorboated on the chest of Karen Bryant in an interview that will now forever go down in infamy. This UFC fighter motorboated on the chest of Karen Bryant in an interview that will now go down in infamy. Oh, and there it is. You guys have Billy still first. Barely beats these guys. But Alex had it. Scott had it. Pete, Greg, Seth Sullivan, what's going on? Frank had it. But Billy was the quickest. Yeah, he was fast. All right, let's throw another one up here quick. Anyone smoking, they'll smoke in the greens. I'm just drinking the old natural. Actually, the green is more natural than the alcohol, probably. Amanda Nunez. It is not Amanda Nunez. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, guys, next question. Give everybody a second to refresh just in case you're not. In 3, 2, 1. All right, 19 of you watching. Everybody, please hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed so you're here for every Tuesday night trivia. And the 6th question of the night is, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. This almost champion came less than 2 minutes away from being the first fighter to defeat Anderson Silva in the UFC. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. This almost champion came less than 2 minutes away from being the first to defeat Anderson Silva in the UFC. And Billy Hughes had it quickly. Scott right behind him. Diego, Greg. But it is, you are correct, it is Chael P. Sonnen. And Billy with another one. Did you refresh, Billy? I know you're a never refresh guy, but at the end, you might want to refresh for trivia nights because I've noticed just running my stream, it can fall behind 20 seconds in a full stream when I do like 5-6 hours, but in an hour or 40 minutes like we've done right now, I'm sure it can fall behind a few seconds. What's up, fake black belt? It's Koshi International. Had it. Amanda Hug and Kiss. Oh, that's great. Haterade 9. I have not heard that one in a while. All right. Refresh your browser, Ordinary Pete. Everybody refresh real quick. And 3, 2, 1. We're going to jump right into the next question. This former UFC champion is a commentator on the Dana White Contender Series, has his own podcast, and just released a new book. This former UFC champion is a commentator on Dana White Contender Series, has his own podcast, and a new book. Also recently retired. And it is Michael Bisping. You are correct, Billy. I've seen Sarah from a few people first, but it is Bisping. And Sarah is on the UFC podcast. But Bisping is a bad mother. That goes without saying. And Billy with another one. Billy, have you been saving this since you weren't playing last season, Billy? Is this just like the angry wrath of Billy coming out on everyone? It's just blowing everybody out of the water. Are you intoxicated? I'm not there yet, Haterade 9, but I'm trying. Yeah, the guy with no eye, I know. Isn't that incredible? I mean, what can you compare that to? A feat in any sport. I can't really think of a feat you can compare that to in any sport than fighting against other men, winning a UFC championship with one eye. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, he's a tough dude. He might be the BMF. Billy always starts hot, then lets people catch up. Nick Newell fighting with one arm. What's up, Tell the Tape? That is true. That is a tough mother. Absolutely. All right, let's go back to the world of boxing. Everybody should be refreshed. Let's go Evander Holyfield. Cheer. Evander Holyfield, the real deal. He beat James Buster Douglas after Mike Tyson. After James Buster Douglas defeated Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield was the first one to defeat him when Mike Tyson went to jail. Who was the first fighter to defeat Evander Holyfield after that and take his belt? Who was the first fighter? Alex Thincano. That was quick, sir. Oh, Alex was light years ahead of you, Billy. Royal Pain, good job getting in there, too, right after Alex. Good one, man. But Alex Thincano, that was fast. Lightning fast. All right, question number 9. Everybody get ready. We are going to stick with boxing here for a few minutes. All right, guys. I'm talking about a specific year. This year's U.S. Olympic boxing team included future greats Pernell Whitaker, Evander Holyfield, Meldrick Taylor, and Virgil Hill. They were all in 1 year. I have not seen it yet. This year's U.S. Olympic boxing team had one of the best teams ever, including Pernell Whitaker, Evander Holyfield, Meldrick Taylor, and Virgil Hill. And who had it first? There it is. Billy Hughes, 1984. You are correct. Also, the year that George Orwell predicted that we would go into a dystopian society. He was just off by about 2 decades. But Billy gets the question. Yep, 84-7. Yeah, a lot of these. There was a couple good years. All right, guys. Next one, we're going to stick with boxing. In the 1970s, in the Olympics, these brothers each won gold medals for the U.S. on a great Olympic team. They were on the same U.S. Olympic team in the 70s, and they were brothers that won gold medals in boxing. I'm not sure if they're the only 2 brothers, but they may be. Alex Thincano, you are correct. It was the Spinks. Michael and Leon Spinks in 1976 each won a gold medal for the United States. And there is no argument as to what the 2 best Olympic teams are ever. Everybody says it's 76 and 1984. But the argument is which team was better, the 76 team or the 1984 team. But Alex gets that one. All right, and one more on boxing. Good job, Frank had it too. Billy had it a little later too. Next question. To 1996. In 1996 Olympics, Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought to what result? What was the result of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s 1996 Olympics campaign? It was not 4th. Oh, I should say what position did he come in? Did he win a medal? What place? My bad. What place did he come in? Yes. Is not the silver medal. Alex Thincano, you got it. He got the bronze. In a controversial decision, not as controversial as Park Si-hung over Roy Jones Jr., but it was a controversial decision. Floyd Mayweather was the favorite to win the gold in his weight class, but he did get the bronze. Good job, Alex. And Alex has gotten 3 of the last 4. Putting a challenge here to Billy. All right, back to the world of MMA. Against dude from the Balkans. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He beat the Cuban. There was a Cuban that was favored to be second that year. And Floyd beat him. And then, yeah, I couldn't remember where the guy was that he lost to. Balkans. That sounds familiar. Frank Kaminsky, you were correct in Wayne, but Alex had it first. All right, guys, we're getting close to 7 o'clock. That's why I've been kind of rapid fire on the trivia. I promised everyone that I would get all the trivia questions out within the first hour. Then if there's any other news and things that we want to talk about on the channel, we'll do that in the overtime. But MMA Trivia, I promise to keep it to an hour. All right, 12th round. 12th question of the night. This is a long one. Give everybody a second to refresh their browsers against and 3, 2, 1. All right, browsers refreshed. Let's go with this. Let's go with some UFC history. This fighter was the UFC's first ever featherweight champion. A holdover from WEC when the UFC finally bought over the WEC. This guy was the first featherweight champion, and Jens Pulver was a good guess, Alex, but it was Jose Aldo, and Billy just under the buzzer before Frank gets it. Billy does not want to be denied. Faber, I believe Faber had never, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe Faber has ever worn UFC gold. Wore WEC gold several times, but I don't believe he ever wore UFC gold. And, of course, he's back now at 40 years old trying to make that happen. I think he's, unfortunately, I think he's going to lose his next fight to Peter Yan. But the Dan Marino of MMA, I like that comedic. I think the Dan Marino is probably Donald Cerrone, because Dan Marino threw for the most yards ever. Donald Cerrone, most fights ever, most wins ever. Faber has not been a champ since Mike Brown took the belt off him. Yeah, that's what I thought, in WEC. All right. Next question up. This heavyweight fighter recently canceled his fight due to the disappearance of his teenage stepdaughter. This UFC heavyweight fighter recently canceled his fight due to the disappearance of his teenage stepdaughter. And there it is, Billy Harris, Walt Harris. And I wanted to speak on that for a moment. Anybody that may have any clues or any information as to anything that has happened in that case, definitely reach out to the Alabama Police Department, the proper authorities, or email. Find Walt on Twitter or email me directly at fightswithfriends@gmail.com or on Twitter at fightswfriends. But I do have an update on that case. Yeah, it's horrible, Greg. So I do have an update on that case. They have arrested at least one suspect. It's rumored that they've arrested two suspects. And they have found the remains of a body that authorities say they have good reason to believe that it is the stepdaughter of UFC fighter Walt Harris. So, our hearts and prayers go out to their family, and that has not been confirmed. And if anybody has information regarding that case, still definitely reach out to the proper authorities so they can have all of the necessary information. Is that public now? Three suspects in custody, Royal? No, Billy says one more at large. Hope they find the third. Huh. I had heard from an unidentified source that it has not been substantiated. That they had found a third, or they think they have found the third. But I didn't know that had been confirmed. So maybe it is. Yeah, if they haven't, I hope they do. And just what a horrible thing to go through. So, yeah, hearts and prayers out to Walt Harris. He was supposed to be fighting this Saturday against Andrei Arlovsky. But, I mean, obviously that takes precedent. Family takes precedent over everything. And that's just a horrible, horrible thing to happen to anyone's family. Especially, me being somebody that has a daughter. I cannot imagine what that family's going through right now. Oh, they definitely are. And don't forget her, that's his stepdaughter. So her biological father is definitely, mourning right now. Did I not say Overeem? Who did I say? Yeah, it was Alistair Overeem. Did I say somebody else? I must have, I guess. But, that really hit hard with me. I know a lot of the MMA community, but thank you, Royal Pain. I met Alistair Overeem. But we do have one more question before the hour's up. But yeah, just thoughts and prayers to that family. And for some reason, if there was already, some animal remains, or hopefully there was some mistake, and possibly Anaya Blanchard is still out there somewhere. They are not confirming that it was her remains. Authorities only said that they had good reason to suspect that they were her remains, but just a sad situation. Rima's in trouble with the guy he's fighting. He was on Ariel Helwani coming up here too. I'm going to have to look it up just because I know the guy, but I'm going to have to read it to be able to pronounce his name. Sad alert, the amount of blood found in her car. She was presumed deceased from the start. Yeah, that was pretty sad. Rosenstruck. That's who Alistair Overeem's fighting this Saturday. It is Jairzinho Rosenstruck. Stefan Struve versus Ben Rothwell. Also on that card. Cynthia Covilla returns against Marina Rodriguez. Cody Stamann versus Song Yadong. That could be fight of the night right there for sure. Prelims, you got Thiago Alves versus Tim Means. Rob Font versus a guy that's really exciting right now, Ricky Simon. Matt Sales versus Bryce Mitchell. Just a few of the high points to the card coming up. Excuse me, not this Saturday, the next Saturday. There will be no UFC again this Saturday. 2 weeks off. December 7th. And that will be an early one. I believe 3 p.m. Pacific will be the start time on that one. 6 p.m. for the main card, though. Oh, we might have an issue. We might have an issue because next week you got Andy Ruiz taking on Anthony Joshua. Let me look up the time to that one real quick, because that's over on DAZN, and I definitely want to cover that fight. That's not above, a UFC pay-per-view card, but it's the UFC, it's the heavyweight championship. 2 of the 3 championships, so that would take precedence over Overeem and Rosenstruck. Big fan of Struve. Talked to him on Facebook a couple of times. A really cool guy, but I don't think that matchup for him. Big Ben is a monster. Yeah, I don't know. I think that is a good matchup for Ben. Ben is so slow. Ben is so slow that a guy that has such long arms and legs and everything might be the best matchup for him. Brown will KO him in 1. Ruiz fight. Yes, it is in Saudi Arabia. I'm trying to find the time for that real quick, and I know they had posted it, so I'll be able to give you a time. Oh, wow. It says main event and undercard starting at 8 a.m. Oh, so there we go. I will definitely try to be home for that one. Even if it's in between stores or what have you. I will definitely try to be there for that one, so maybe we can hit the boxing and the UFC on Saturday. That would be optimal. Big fan. Oh, yeah. And just to update everybody, I am very happy. One of the reasons I'm in a very good mood right now. Billy's got an awesome job over at Warehouse, so congratulations to Billy. And 2, I was able to switch my routes. They did routes again with Frito-Lay, and I will now be off instead of Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I will be off Friday, Saturdays, starting in just a few weeks. My boss just texted me this, so I have the rest of this week on this route, all of next week, which is those 2 fights. After that, I will be off every Friday and Saturday. So definitely expect some marathons, especially those ones where Pride starts on Friday, or not Pride, 1FC starts on Friday night, and then the UFC on Saturday. Watch out, everybody. Watch out, MMA holes. Watch out, full-time, everybody else, because we're going to be doing full cards on Saturdays. We're going to be doing some full from the first prelim fight to the last fight interview all the way through. Ruiz has Joshua's number, says Frank. Ruiz versus Joshua will be very interesting. I agree. Struve pulls the upset. I don't know how big of an upset it is. I don't know. I expect that to be a very good fight. All right, we are 59 minutes, 40 seconds into this stream. I promised I would do it within an hour. So here is the final question of the night. A quick refresh in 3, 2, 1. If your browsers are refreshed, who was the last fighter to defeat Tony Ferguson, El Cucuy? Who is the last fighter to defeat El Cucuy? Tony Ferguson. He's on a 12-fight winning streak. And Diego Velazquez has it. It is Michael Johnson. You are correct, sir. And Frank Kaminsky was right behind him. Comedic genius. I really probably should give you 1,000 points for that. No, first actual fighter, though. A medal poll. I like it. Feel like Michael Johnson is going to be in the PFL or Bellator very soon. I have doubts, and I don't know how much I can say yet, but I definitely have doubts that PFL is going to be seeing a third season. I've talked with some people close to the situation there in PFL, and unfortunately that league may not go on as it is now with the whole $1 million tournament for every weight division and everything. And if it is back, it's likely not going to be on ESPN. But let's support let's support the finals for it on New Year's. Hopefully it comes back because I like seeing the UFC have competition. Oh, gee. I think I remember that, Greg Brimstone. Was that in the smack talking going on between... it was him and Michael Chiesa that had that smack talk going on, right? Was it Michael Johnson or Kevin Lee that said something about Michael Chiesa's mom? I can't remember. One of those had an issues with Michael Chiesa where Michael Chiesa just lost it. Might have been Kevin Lee. Thank you, Billy. Yeah. Kayla Harrison and Lance Palmer are UFC bound then. Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I would say so. All right. And that is 14 questions. Like I said, I will be off Saturdays. For those of you that are interested in what is going on with YouTube, starting December 10th, some channels are going to disappear. Ones that UFC has deemed not monetarily viable. I'm going to look for that exact email and contract that I have because some people asked some questions about it. Thank you, MMA KO. New subscription too. And I apologize for all those that have been subscribed for years. For some reason, I didn't have the notifications on. I didn't know how to do it. That to receive the things that the updates when people had subscribed. But I'm trying to go to the new terms of service. I thought it was in my emails. It may be on the YouTube page. I won't take a whole long time looking for it. If I don't find it right away, I'll post a video on it. Thank you, Ron Carlson. Good to see you. Yeah, I won't waste a lot of your guys' time. If I don't find it pretty much immediately, I will post a video on it, like I said. But pretty sure they sent me something. I know they sent me an email, but I can't find it for some reason. It should be on the channel, though. somewhere in like my agreements, terms of service, that kind of thing. Might be in my links. Might be my notifications, excuse me. Oh, I know where I can read it at, though. Because I believe YouTube has put it up on its website. Starting from December 10th, 2019, terms of service are updated globally. If you live in the European Economic Area or Switzerland, your terms were updated on July 22nd. These updates are to make the terms of service easier to read and understand. There's no change to your experience on YouTube. This features you have access if you're monetizing how you're paid. Okay, that's not... So it is a December 2nd. I thought maybe it is a December 2nd one. So for right now, I just see the article on Mashable. I think this is in the first instance. YouTube's new terms of service has some users and content creators very worried. Section titled Account Suspension and Termination. Subheader Terminations by YouTube for Services Change. Cites new terms which are set to take effect on December 10th. Adds the following. Okay, so this is the exact terminology. YouTube may terminate your access or your Google account's access to all or part of a service if YouTube believes, in its sole discretion, that provision of the service to you is no longer commercially viable. So it's commercially viable. Basic terms, it says if YouTube isn't making money off you, the company can delete your account. So this says account. This doesn't even say just channels. So that doesn't really make sense. They're not going to start deleting. Viewers' accounts. That seems like a little bit of a scary precedence to me. That seems like they're just like, if they don't like somebody, they can kind of just find a reason to pull them off. I don't know. Usman and Covington. I got Usman by an inch. Usman, that's a very close one. Could definitely go either way. YouTube will become trash if this happens. Yeah, they got to switch something, Ron Carlson. Usman by 30%. That is a good one, Hater89. That is an MMA insider's joke if I ever heard it. Yeah, very good. But I like the new CEO of YouTube, and I have been very, very critical of them in the past. The new CEO, she has done a very good job, if not reaching out directly to bigger creators. She's reached out to the smaller creators, like myself, through liaisons. I have a liaison for this channel, not my other channel yet, although that liaison did tell me when that other channel was monetized. She's done a very good job. She's actually sat down with many big YouTubers too, answered their questions, taken suggestions and made a lot of changes based on feedback from YouTube creators. So, I've been very happy with her since she came in. So I imagine she is definitely taking all of this very seriously and the feedback. Joe Rogan, buy Vimeo now and show YouTube how to actually run a good streaming service online for creators. For those of you that weren't in the stream earlier, that is my prediction. If YouTube does start, if they do a max exodus of a lot of creators, that Joe Rogan will buy out Vimeo. I imagine he would get Vimeo right now for pennies on the dollar. And it's a very good site. And it has great upload speed. It has great quality. The reason I'm not on there is right now is that they charge creators a tremendous amount for uploading. And I don't believe they have live yet. When I was on there before, I don't think they had live. But they charge you monthly and sometimes by how much uploading memory you use. They do have very high quality videos over there though, and they don't put up with a lot of garbage. And garbage, as I say, not infringing, free speech or anything like that, but they make sure that people, kind of know what they're doing, have a little bit of a follow. They're not, holding the camera the wrong way on their cell phone and trying to follow their cat around. Vimeo sounds like a rip. Yeah, it is a rip-off right now. Joe Rogan. If Joe Rogan doesn't have that kind of money, which I think he probably does, Haterade9, he definitely has people that would help support him on that. He could pull so many people in. For one thing, he could probably pull over Twitter. I think Jack Dorsey would probably go with him and help buy that because of his relationship with the Cash App, which of course is also owned by Twitter. But let's count up the points real quick. I think we know who won, but I would help cook some for Thanksgiving, Haterade9, but I imagine my wife and kids will probably do most of it. So first question was Greg Brimstone. Then Billy Hughes goes to 1,000. Third question, Billy Hughes goes to 2,000. Then it was Ordinary Pete on the board. Question number 5, Billy went to 3,000. Question number 6, he goes to 4. Question number 7, he goes to 5. Then Alex Stincato comes back, gets question number 8. But Billy comes back with question number 9. Goes to 7,000 on that, right? Yes. Then question number 10, Alex Stincato, and 11. That puts him up to 3,000. Then Billy gets 2 of the last 3 to go up to 9,000. Diego Velasquez gets question number 14. So Billy gets the victory. Congratulations, Billy, on your return to MMA Trivia dominance. Joe earns a good income through his podcast, UFC commentating, and stand-up shows, as well as owning On It and other minority stakes. Oh, yeah, he's got... That dude is well diversified, for sure. Max or Alex, I got Max all the way. I cannot go against Max Holloway. I mean, the guy's so damn good. So good. Until you see a chink in the armor, I can't even think about going against him. Is lucky this McDonald's Wi-Fi sucks, is Comedic Genius. How cold is it where you're at? I hope you're in the lobby, Comedic Genius, because it's even cold in Seattle right now. In the Seattle area, well, somewhat cold. It'll get down to freezing. It'll get down to 31 tonight. It's only 35. It's nothing like Billy over there in Colorado digging himself out of 40 feet of snow. But all right, guys, we will all be together hopefully on Saturday for some UFC. Possibly Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. If anything, definitely have a wrap-up show of that. But UFC, Alistair Overeem versus Rosenstruck. A lot of other good fights on that card. Like I said, Stefan Struve versus Ben Rothwell. And a very good card. I mean, when they take a couple weeks off, not this Saturday, the next Saturday. So this Saturday, enjoy your family. This Thursday, everybody, have a happy Thanksgiving. Yes, 3 championship fights. That is going to be crazy. Joe Rogan just bought into a hunting guide company with Steve Trinella. Well, that's not surprising. I know he was saying on there, somebody was saying, oh, this podcast thing will do you well for a long time. He goes, I don't count on anything. He said, I don't count on this podcasting to be here next year. He said, I don't count on, anything I do to be here the next year. So he says, that's why I diversify myself, so deeply. And listening to that kind of inspired me. And now I got to figure out how to diversify myself. One way you guys have helped me diversify throughout this is, of course, in all the super chats from this year. Greatly appreciated. We've had some very generous super chatters in here right now. Some people that are in here, some that aren't, but you guys have really stepped it up recently. For sure. But another way that you can invest in this, or we can all be invested, is just to take that free stock from Robinhood. They are only guaranteed to be doing this till the end of the year. Only my sponsorship with them runs out at the end of the year. So if you haven't done it yet, guys, if everyone was able to go out there and just get that free stock, if everybody on the channel went out and just did the free stock, I'm averaging about $8 a piece on that. Thank you for all of those of you that have done this up to this point. Quite a few of you. Billy and many others. Some of you, if I don't recognize your names from your usernames, I apologize, but thank you for doing that. So all you have to do is go over there, get a free stock. They have a... they have like 3 cards. It's like a lottery thing. It's kind of cool. You pick between 3 doors, like The Price is Right. And young David got his first stock on there. My daughter will when she turns 18. Coming up here soon. That's craziness. She's going to be graduating from high school this year. She'll be turning 18 soon. Time flies. And she'll be getting a free stock. But if every subscriber just took that free stock, it would be worth to me more than as much or more than I make it in an entire year, probably. And I could definitely really get both channels going. Oh, number of viewers that Rogan get. Oh, yeah, it's insane. Millions and millions all the time. All the time. Just watched him with Israel Adesanya, 2 million viewers. And, I mean, if you don't think that's going to give Israel Adesanya a boost, you're crazy. And that's just the YouTube. I never watch him on YouTube. It's all through... I get it all through podcast. Which I'm actually getting together, talking with John Fitch and Sam Alvey this week. We are talking about all doing each other's podcasts, and I think Sam and some people over in John's are going to help me figure out this RSS feed as to how to get my podcast up. But great former UFC veteran and Bellator veteran John Fitch, shout out, and friend of mine, friend of the channel, Sam Alvey. We'll be all getting together. John Fitch has got a YouTube channel. You can subscribe to it anytime. Sam Alvey has his podcast over there on Podbean right now. I know we're going to get that set up here in the next couple of weeks. So he's over on Apple Podcast, and hopefully a podcast, hopefully before the end of the year, an MMA with Friends podcast will be a normal once a week thing. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. I don't want to make any promises on that because I try to, under promise and over deliver. But YouTube is the priority. That's been where the money's been so far. But anyways, like I said, guys, thank you everybody very much for turning in for this first week of MMA Trivia. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Go out there, have yourself a great Turkey Day, and I can't wait to see you guys again. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses later.